USA, but I've been living in Dubai for about 14 years. Hello, TJ. And today we're unpacking Dubai's real estate landscape at the start of 2026, where buyers, investors, and developers are navigating between booming momentum and more strategic thinking and decision making. Hold on one second, let me see. Oh. All right, so first we're going to talk about market performance and give you a little snapshot. Hello, Dipnarian Chowdhury. Dubai's real estate market is was closed in 2025 with record transaction volumes and values. According to the latest 2025 stats, the residential property market surpassed 541 billion AEDs, Arab Emirate dirhams, which is about 147 billion US dollars. In transactions across about 200,779 deals, up significantly from 2024. So as you can see, from 2024, it went up significantly for 2025. So that shows you that sales momentum extended into late 2025. Welcome, Usmi. With November reporting at 64.4 billion in transactions. Thank you for the likes. Up to 49% year on year, driven by a strong primary market and rising mortgage activity among middle income earners. So, who were the most strongest rise was from the middle income earners, right? Not the very rich people, right? The middle income people like yourself and I. Thank you for the likes. So, the key takeaway from that is liquidity remains high with both international and domestic buyers active across segments. Now, let's talk about the demand trends and drivers. So, population and migration. Dubai's ongoing population growth continues to fuel residential demand. And I keep telling you guys about residential demand. So if you're looking to make money from passive income, residential demand is very important, both for purchase and rental housing, right? So if there are a lot of people moving here, there's going to be a demand for people who want to buy the property to live in the property, or you're going to have people who are buying as an investment. So long-term residents and high net worth individuals contribute to sustained interest. Now, also there's a tech and market evolution. Emerging technologies like property tokenization and prop tech platforms are beginning to shape how properties are traded, how they are valued, and how they are financed. So this is expected to accelerate with the Property Tech Connect Middle East event in Dubai this February 2026. So apparently there's a property tech event in February, and it's going to talk about all of the technology that's used, like AI and all, because there's really and all these other technology that help not only people who work in the industry, but also the end users, right? The people who are buying houses or selling their properties, they can also use property technology. So another factor is smart selectivity. Thank you so much for the likes. Data shows that 2026 buyers are becoming more selective, prioritizing infrastructure, commute logic. So infrastructure is like what's being built in the area. Is there a metro coming? Is there something like an airport coming to the area that's going to help with the city? So people are prioritizing infrastructure Commute logic. How long does it take for me to get to my job? Right? Connectivity. How easy is it to get to certain areas? And developer track records. So they're valuing those things over speculative fast flips. Remember, I told you guys about those fast flips. It's no longer about fast flips. Pointing to a more mature market mindset. Welcome in everybody who I missed coming on in. Thank you so much for joining. Also, there is the supply dynamics and prices. So, supply moderation. Industry leaders, including the CEO of a major Dubai developer, forecast that new home supply will moderate. So in 2026, as construction and land costs rise, which could help balance price pressures, right? So the delivery pipeline, let's talk about that. However, analysts also point out that tens of thousands of new units are expected to be complete. So even though they might slow down in producing new properties, there are already properties that are expected, tens of thousands of new units are expected to be complete over the next couple of years. So potentially easing some of the mid-segment price tensions. When we say mid-segment, we're saying some of the middle-priced units to keep the prices stable and not go so high. Price trends. While 2025 saw consistent price increases, most forecasts for 2026 suggest price growth slowing and stabilizing rather than sharp appreciation or correction. So in 2026, the price growth is supposed to be slow and stabilizing because you're going to have so many units that are open, and the high cost of land and the high cost of construction is going to rise just a little bit. So it's going to balance things out. So luxury and prime villa segments remain relatively supply constrained. So it's not going to be easy to find luxury homes and prime villas. I've looked at some of the nice luxury areas. Most of them are sold out. So it's nice to study about these areas because, I'm new in real estate. So I'm able to study these areas, but some areas that I look at, some of these luxury areas, they're already sold out. So it's really hard to get into these areas. But mid-market apartments may see more balanced conditions. So if you're looking for apartments, like I said, for investment purposes, definitely this is a good time also to invest and to buy property. Welcome in, Brains. Welcome in, Fatifuller. Hello. How's it going? Welcome, Esther.
Hi, guys.
She's a broker here at Etaji Dubai. What do you have to say to people who are looking to buy a home this year?
Okay, first of all, Happy New Year, guys. Are you guys having fun? Is it entertaining you guys? Is it giving you
Are you guys having fun with me? Am I giving you good
fun?
information? Say yes or no in the comments. We'll see what they say.
Okay, that's good. What I will say about Dubai is one of the safest places
They said
in the
no.
world. You're not having fun? Oh my God.
Where,
Dubai.
Esther, where are you from? They said.
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay, and I'm from the USA, but where do we live?
We live in Dubai.
We live in Dubai, guys. Oh, the able guy said yes. And someone said they're looking for investors.
Really?
Okay, great. Welcome in, as always, the able God. I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Alright, guys. See you next time.
Bye to Esther. See you. Okay, so some of the comments were filtered, guys. So just remember to be respectful in the chat, because there's AI to kind of filter out some of those comments. Welcome from Egypt. All right. So now, I'm starting a business. I'm looking for an investor. I'm starting clothing brand. Okay, so this isn't that chat. My live is about investing in properties. And so maybe somebody who's watching, maybe who's someone in the room, may be looking for investment opportunities into your business. So hopefully somebody can link up with you. Hi, BB. This is about property, real estate in Dubai. So if you're interested in buying a property, if you're interested in learning more information about planning for your future, I'm kind of almost done with my live podcast, but I'm just going to continue where I left off. And so let's look at buyer profiles and strategies. So remember I talked about middle income mortgages are on the rise. Mortgage demand in late 2025 saw strong participation from families earning 20,000 to 40,000 monthly, that's as a family, indicating a new depth in the local owner occupier market. Number two, long-term investors. Investors are prioritizing assets with strong rental yields and fundamentals over short-term flips. So remember, investors are prioritizing. Say hello, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Maya.
Where are you from, Maya?
I'm from Mauritius, and I'm a real estate advisor as well.
Yes, if you need some property, contact Maya. And she's also a chef. So if anybody wants some good food, she has a restaurant in Mauritius. I gotta go visit.
Yes.
She said you're always welcome, guys. Thank you, Maya. Maya's wonderful. All right, and so middle income, it's called Itaji Dubai. It's a Russian company. It's got over 23 years of experience in the real estate market and real estate transactions. And within the past couple of years, we were ranked 6 out of, I believe it was 20. I got to look at those stats again, but we were ranked number 6 in real estate transactions between Western countries and the U.S., European countries and Western countries. So we were ranked up there in real estate transactions. We have offices in over 281 cities, and we're in 14 countries. And we have a lot of people from different nationalities in the office, so we can handle from anywhere. Yes, I'm American, Kai Wayne. Yes, I'm from the U.S. And I've been living in Dubai for about 14 years. All right, so going to go back over who's buying. Middle income mortgages on the rise. Mortgage demand in the late 2025 saw strong. We're in the Bay Gate Towers and Business Bay. Come on, BB, come and be a real estate agent. Okay. So most families earn between 20,000 and 40,000 dirhams monthly, indicating a new depth in the local owner-occupier market. So maybe before there used to be higher incomes, but we're seeing middle-income people who are now starting to invest in property, which makes a lot of sense because the government is also encouraging people to buy property because it means that people will be here for the long run. There'll be longevity for expats and people who have moved to the area who have made this their home, right? So it encourages people to be here for a long term. And long-term investors are prioritizing assets with strong, see you later, Esther. Investors are prioritizing assets with strong rental yields and fundamentals over short-term flips. So it's not about buying something just so you can make a quick profit. People are interested in strong rental yields, renting for a number of years and making a lot of money from your return on your investments. So especially in communities with connectivity. Do you have a local metro area? Is it close to the public transportation? Is it off of a major highway, right? Is it far enough away where you can kind of enjoy like maybe off of Town Square. Some people live in Town Square. It's right off of 611. So even though it's further out, a lot of people enjoy being out further out because it gives them more of a rural feeling, right? Because some people come from countries where they like to be in an area where there's not a lot of buildings and there's a lot of open space. We call that suburbs in America. So some people like to live in that suburban area, but it needs to be located off of a major highway so that they can get to work easily, right? So that's very important. So connectivity is important and lifestyle amenities. Remember, I was talking about Town Square. There's a nice place in Town Square where, there's lots of fun activities. There's like a surfboard activity where little kids can get in the water and they can get on a surfboard and have some fun. And there's also like a lot of food trucks or like small, I don't want to call them food trucks, but it's like a little area where there's many, kind of like trailers where there's KFC. They're not really meant for you to go inside and eat, but you're able to go up and walk up. If any of you guys are familiar with Last Exit, it's like food trucks where people can drive up or they can walk up to different vendors. So, sometimes families, they all want something different to eat. So when you go to a place like that, everybody can just go for what they want to go for. And I love that because sometimes even as family members, right, you don't always want to eat the same thing. So it gives everybody their choice. So I love those type of areas where you can go and there's a bunch of food vendors like Last Exit or I forget some others like in the area. Yes, I'm in Dubai right now. So a little bit of a lifestyle. Talk about lifestyle. Some areas have biking, like around Town Square. You're going to be near the Kudra Lakes, right? So the Kudra Lakes have a lot of biking. So if you're into biking, you want to live near Town Square because a lot of people that live in that area, they spend a lot of time driving to the biking areas, which are near Love Lakes. Also around that area, Love Lakes is a place where people can go out picnicking, camping, barbecuing. It's a beautiful place with man-made lakes, and it's just absolutely beautiful. You have to check out Love Lakes if you're living in the UAE. Definitely check it out. So global high net worth individuals, luxury buyers remain active, drawn by Dubai's political stability, tax-free environment. Guys, if you're from the U.S., and from the West, this is a tax-free environment. It means that you're not going to be taxed on your property. And I was saying this the other day. That's important for people who are retired because they rely on their income that they have a fixed income. And sometimes, the cost rise of things, the high taxes that rise, this makes it difficult for people who are living on a fixed income. So here again, we're talking about tax-free environments, which are going to attract a lot of people from the USA, from Canada, from Europe, because a lot of people do not want to pay taxes. So also luxury buyers are looking for a lifestyle. We're looking at the Mercedes Benz City, right? Benghazi is going to have a Mercedes City. It's going to be all based on the quality of Mercedes Benz. So people are looking for a lifestyle and long-term residency options. So the luxury buyers are more looking for long-term, which makes sense, right? Because who's gonna buy mansions to rent them out? No. When you think of making return on investment for our investment properties, you're looking at apartments because normally people who rent are going to be people who are renting apartments or maybe renting townhomes. But people don't normally rent houses, huge houses. Even though there are some people who rent houses, but normally it's better for you to buy your house. So practical strategies. Focus on well-located, established neighborhoods. We're talking about Arabian ranches. This is established. Dubai Hills. Town Square, as I mentioned to you before. Dubai Harbor Creek, right? The Springs, JVC, JVT, Jumeirah Village Circle, Jumeirah Village Triangle. These are also established neighborhoods. Also, I talked about Town Square. There's Mira Oasis. I used to live in Mira Oasis. That community is very well established, and I've heard they even have a new school over there. So it's a British school though, but many people in that area now they don't have to worry about commuting to a school because there's a school right in their neighborhood now. So these are established neighborhoods that have nice what do you call those, kind of like a community shop, a community town square where they have shops, coffee shops, a grocery store, many fun places for people to go, especially kids and families. When you don't feel like getting in a car and going somewhere far, you can be in your neighborhood and you can still enjoy some nice shopping in your community. So those are established neighborhoods that you want to look at, and those are more gated communities. Now, another important practical strategy is evaluate developer delivery history. So look at the developers and see which developers execute their projects on time so that you can make sure you're not waiting for a very long time for the project to finish or if there's any delays. But many of the developers here in Dubai are pretty much on time. There's always a cushion and there's always a clause in the agreement, in the purchase agreement, that gives the developer some cushion room just in case there are some delays. So make sure to read your contract carefully to make sure that, one, the developer history is good, but also what are the terms of the delivery handover? How much time do they have as a grace in case some things happen and it delays your project? Because some people are looking for investment properties where they can earn money off of renting, right? And so if they can't rent the property out, that's going to put people in a bind. So you want to make sure that if you are investing in property for rental income, you're going to want to make sure you check on the delivery history of the developer. And there's many developers out there. There's Soba, there's Damac, Amar, Benghazi, many developers out there. So just check into the history of the developers. Also, use data-driven market insights rather than speculative timing. So don't move off of speculation or what you hear. Even if you see something on social media, make sure you double check the data and the data-driven market insights. It's important for you to do your research, and that's why it's good for you to use an agent like myself who works for a real estate agency, because we are in the market and so we know the market insights and we can help you with new information or any question. If I don't have it, there's someone in my office, you bet your bottom dollar they're gonna know it. Broader trends and ecosystems. Infrastructure-led real estate. Remember I talked to you about infrastructure. What is the infrastructure that's coming to the area? Is there going to be a new island like Dubai Islands? That's going to be a whole new island, right? With waterfronts, with malls, with everything. Dubai Harbor Creek is going to have a new mall. This mall is going to be so huge, and it's going to have like indoor driving for electric vehicles. So if you have an electric vehicle in this mall that's coming to Dubai Harbor Creek, you're going to be able to drive through the mall, people. So we're talking about infrastructure-led real estate, that things are being developed around infrastructure that's being developed, and the government is pouring money into these areas to boost it up. So key shifts are underway where energy, transport, and non-oil sector growth shape property demand. So around energy areas like sustainability, transport, like I said, the metros, and non-oil sectors sectors that are based not only just on oil. There's going to be a lot of growth, and that's going to shape property demand, meaning areas tied to jobs, connectivity, and tech hubs are outperforming. So those areas where there's a lot of jobs, where there's a lot of access to the metro system, and a lot of places that have tech hubs where there's, I believe, forget which companies are out here, but there's a lot of tech hubs out here. I can't think any off the top of my head, but a lot of technology companies, even from America, are here. Flex space and new uses. Dubai's property landscape is seeing interest from flex office providers and alternative investors. So now it's not just about big office buildings, but now the trend is having flex office providers where you can rent out property spaces for a certain amount of time. So I think somebody was in here talking about how they needed an investor for their business. Well, think about whether you're going to use like flex office providers to provide a place for you to set up your office. It can be like flexible, meaning it's not permanent. You don't have to stay for the whole year, maybe. So this is also going to help the Dubai property landscape. People are going to be drawn to those areas that they can live close to places like that. Also, places for alternative investors. So investments in different types of companies. Not just investing in stock markets, but maybe investing in cryptocurrency, investing in different types of markets. So if there's going to be new alternative investing opportunities in certain areas, that's going to pull different types of investors, signaling diversification beyond traditional residential and commercial formats. So it's not going to be all residential areas anymore or all commercial areas, but some areas will have a mix of residential and commercials. Like some buildings actually have residential space and some in the building. So you can buy a building that you can have your office in the same building, right? How convenient is that? So in closing, as we enter 2026, Dubai's real estate market is transitioning from a surge phase to a maturity phase. Momentum from record transaction persists. Guys, it's still good to get in right now. It's easy to get in right now. But growth is measured, so don't take your time in buying properties, right? The momentum is good, but the growth is going to be measured. It's gonna stay stable. Technology and smart buyer behaviors are reshaping investment decisions. So remember, I talked to you about there's different tools out there to help real estate agents, to real estate companies, with properties, but also this is helping buyers become smarter because now they have more information at their fingertips. And then infrastructure and lifestyle factors. Remember, this is always a factor. Which areas are going to be the hot areas, which areas are going to be in demand, depending on the infrastructure and the lifestyle factors. This is going to increase and drive the value of that area. So always look out for where the Dubai government is investing in different things to know where to invest, which areas to go to. And remember, supply and demand are rebalancing, offering both opportunities, right? There's a lot of opportunities for apartments, right? But maybe for luxury, those opportunities are not as plentiful as before. And there are some challenges depending on your segment, depending on which type of property you're trying to get, depending on which area. So Dubai remains a global real estate hub, not just for volume, but for innovation and strategic investment. Whether you're a buyer, whether you're an investor, whether you're a developer, the key this year is quality over hype. quality over hype. Do your research. Make data-driven decisions. That's all for today's episode with Carl Explains Dubai. I'm your host, Carl Davis. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you guys soon. I do this more than once a week. It's not actually weekly, but whenever I think of what's going on, when I monitor things that I'm seeing in the news, whether I'm monitoring social media, I tend to see what's going on, and then I try to bring you some information based on that. So just click on the heart there to heart me, to stay in touch with me, to stay informed about Dubai investments. Again, guys, it's so easy to buy property from abroad. All you need is your passport. You don't even need to be here to sign the paperwork, and you can own property from abroad, right? And depending on how much you invest in the property, you can get a 10-year golden visa. So that is something to think about if you're looking to relocate to a certain part of the world. You want to leave your country, you want to go to another country. The United Arab Emirates is definitely something to look into, because you can get a 10-year golden visa depending on how much you invest. That's about 2 million dirhams that you should invest in the property. Excuse my office, it's very lively, and it's 8:18 p.m. So that shows you that we have a lot of fun here at Hitachi, but we get a lot of work done too. So again, stay tuned. I try to come on like maybe twice. I'm probably gonna repeat this for some of you that missed this this live stream. I'll probably come on like in about 2 hours and do one more run through, and that'll be all for this segment. Okay, guys? All right, take care. It's all about financial freedom, guys. I was listening to somebody talk today, and they said, are you going to make your dreams come true this year, or are you going to work for someone else to help them achieve their dream? So you need to decide for yourself if you want to help other people achieve their dreams by, working for someone else and not owning any property, or you want to help yourself achieve your own dreams, to have financial freedom, to have flexibility, to work remotely because you own property in different parts of the world, which means you can travel around and you're not confined to one country, right? You're not confined to one area. So depending on what effects are going on in that area, whether it be economic or whether it be political, if you have the ability to move around, then you can avoid some of these situations. And right now, Dubai is a stable place, doesn't have any political problems, and is a very secure country. It's very secure here, very safe, and not because of the reasons some may think, because it's extra harsh and extra strict here. No, it's just because they have built a culture of respect, of peace and harmony. And I know that might seem unbelievable to some people, but you just need to come to the Dubai and the UAE, and you need to experience it for yourself. No one can convince you. It's not because everyone's afraid. It's because, no, there are laws in place, and mostly people here are good people and they respect society, and this is a family-based society, so it's wonderful. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Thank you so much for your support as always, and I'm Carl Explains Dubai, and I'll see you next time. Take care.